Oh man, dude,
Wow,
bro,
That was so beautiful.
Marvelous. Let's get started, guys. Two marker, action. What is going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? What a freaking weekend it has been. I'm yelling at you because that's how excited I am right now. I'm yelling through the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, guys? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Or Ryan T.
this is Lex once again. Probably one of the reviews I've been looking to the most, and just so happy to be here with you guys. And I'm just, a lot of stuff we can talk about, and I'm super excited.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. I'm most excited here. And also we got, ladies and gentlemen, from the Countdown City Geekcast. What is up, JC?
Hey guys, Countdown City Geekcast, representing them here, CCG_podcast on Twitter. Shout us out. I'm the lone guy that got to see this movie first, so I have that over everybody on the Geekcast. So
yeah,
I'm excited to talk about it. So
yes, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Yes, let's talk about this movie, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we're going to mention it nonstop. I'm going to say it countless times, ladies and gentlemen. This is non-spoilers, guys. Non-spoilers. No spoilers. We're not mentioning nothing. Even if you ask if Tony Stark does show up on here, I promise you, maybe he did. I don't know. You never know. Multiverse, talking about multiverses here. But we're not going to mention anything. We're not going to mention nothing whatsoever, guys. No spoilers. We just want to, share a little input here of what this movie, what has this changed for the cinema world right here, guys? Because this is really an eye-opener. And I know we gave our little reviews here. Lex did his own review. I did my reaction video. JC did it. Him and his wife did his own reaction video. I mean, dude. Like right after, y'all look like y'all were still in that moment, man. That phasing moment, that awesome moment. Because did y'all record that right after watching it? Like literally right after?
I think we sat there in about like 5-10 minutes of just silence. We were speechless. We just unbelievable. Didn't know what to say. And it's like, okay, let's do a reaction video. So when I say initial reaction, is when we could finally speak again. I feel like that speechless thing was like probably like 5-10 minutes after we finished the movie, after the credits finished. It was pretty awesome.
For sure, man. I know Lex was just excited. Lex got to see it before all of us up here. Mm-hmm. Lex got the first dibs, man, dude. You got the first dibs, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to wake up early, and if I could have, I would have watched it the night of, but I drove 8 hours that day and got home and just kind of wanted to relax. But like if I had watched it, I would have been up till like 2 a.m, which I could have done had I not like had that drive. But even the fact that we got to see it this early, like today, we would still be looking forward to the movie, right? And I typically get super caught up in that excitement throughout the week of a premiere and things like that. And with something as big as the Snyder cut, like it's kind of, once again, it's an awesome feeling getting to already like know what needed to be known. And I'm just super excited for everyone to witness this and give the recognition that it deserves.
Yes, for sure, guys. Let's get right to it, man. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this movie comes out at runtime of 4 hours and 2 minutes, guys. So this is a 4 hour, 2 minute film available on HBO Max this coming Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. And what a film this really was. There's a lot of film here, guys. A lot of film here. Officially right now, ladies and gentlemen, on Rotten Tomatoes. Currently, earlier today, it was at 79. I think I saw it maybe 80. I could have been mistaken, but I saw it for sure 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. Right now, it's currently at 73%, guys. So that's actually not that bad compared to the last film. The last film was, I believe, 40% right now for critics, as far as for critics, because obviously until, they'll open it up for people whenever the film does come out. So we'll get to see that gap, or maybe there won't be a gap. We'll see that here. This was directed by Zack Snyder, produced by it was a lot of people here. We saw Christopher Nolan, which is a very common name we know. Christopher Nolan, Deborah Snyder, which is his wife, Zack Snyder's wife. And also, ladies and gentlemen, this does come out on a 6-part and epilogue here. So that was pretty cool to see here. And I know we talked about it even before watching this movie, is that we talked about it, like, are they going to show it and all that stuff? And we got the answer to those questions. So that was really good to see on that input. So let's get right to it, guys. Let's talk about this movie, man. Opening, okay, like this opening credits was just insane. I mean, dude, insane. Mm-hmm. I mean, insane. Like there's no explanation really for it. I mean, just you're at a loss for words how cinematic this opening sequence really is. When the camera starts rolling, guys, when you start seeing the Warner Brothers logo, that's when everything changes, man. Oh my God, the tone, everything is so different from the last movie, I would say. And we can compare it a lot to the last movie because, it's night and day, two separate, totally different films.
I'm just going to forget the last movie. I'm going to stop right. I'm forgetting the last movie. I'm done.
yeah, for real. Yeah. For real, man. For real. I completely agree with you there, man. That's the thing though, too, is that like people are like, oh, great, we're going to watch another Justice League movie. What the hell? Like I've been seeing a lot of comments here and there, just be like, oh, great, another movie. People think it's the same, which is very like, no, it's not the same, guys. Totally different movie. Of course, there's different percentages here, but I'll probably say it's 20, maybe less percent of the theoretical cut. I would say like probably it's like 20 or less.
Probably 10%.
I think Zack had said that only 20 minutes of his footage was used. Okay. And I can tell you watching it, it's not a spoiler, but I can tell you watching it, it's pretty accurate. I wasn't sitting there with the timer, right? Like I wanted to enjoy the movie, but all in all, like I just noticed like that statement was holding true because it's either his footage or just massively altered scenes of what he had in mind. So pretty much in every sequence, in every scene, you're seeing something different than what you saw before. It could be the CGI. It could be the dialogue was really different.
So let's talk about that CGI real quick since you brought up the first point right here. CGI totally different. Isn't it weird how this film is very different CGI here, man? Like it's almost like they went half budget on the last movie and this one they went full on budget. Like it just feels like that. It feels like it wasn't even done. Like why did Warner Brothers not release this cut? Is beyond me. I have no idea why. I mean, there's so many.
The answer is pretty easy. They wanted to make a release date. Obviously, Zack Snyder had and his wife had a tragedy on their family, and Warner Brothers didn't want to push the release date back. They should have, obviously.
They should have,
and I'm not saying back then we would have gotten this whole 4-hour movie. Maybe they would have, but at least we could have gotten this cut, and they probably would have cut it down to something. The CGI, even the scenes that you might recognize if you saw the previous version, they're completely different. Better context, better CGI. The action's so much better in them.
There's a little, just to add a little more context to, I believe from what I know is that the reason they really wanted to meet that line was because the Justice League release date at the time it was November 2017, right? That's as the quarter is closing up, right? Like the last quarter of the year. Okay. And executives get bonuses based on meeting those deadlines. And this was also the quarter before the AT&T and Warner Brothers acquisition was taking place. So there's additional talks in there as far as like who stays, who goes. So executives were even more pressure to not only get the bonuses, but be like, okay, well, if I don't meet this deadline, I'm probably going to be on the chopping block, right? Yeah. And so it's a horrible, right?
Yeah,
it's a business, but at the same time, it's a horrible reason. Just now seeing the product that we should have gotten,
dude, gets you mad, gets you frustrated. It really does, guys. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, it gets you so pissed off that this movie did not happen. I'm yelling at you guys because that's how pissed off I am because, like, what the hell is going on over there at Warner Brothers? Let's talk about the CGI of Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf CGI was top of the line. It was more detailed on the eyes, and we see that in the trailer too. I mean, guys, we saw how detailed it is. Really, when it comes down to the action, we got a lot of action sequences in here, dude. A lot of action sequences, and just like you already talked about, Lex, dialogue. We got way better dialogue, more insight, more details into Cyborg. into Aquaman, into just who these characters really are. And I know Lex, quote unquote, I'm gonna take Lex as saying, quote unquote, Lex did say this film, yes, it's 4 hours and 2 minutes, guys. Yes, we know it's 4 hours and 2 minutes. It's a long movie. But you know what? It actually gets you to care about these characters. And I know I'm gonna quote that from Lex. It really does get you to really have so much character development. I never seen this much character development. And as far as the movies, I mean, I could probably name a top of them, but they're not going to be DC films, of course. So, but yeah, I was really a shocker to see like how well this film was very directed. Like, it's weird, man. It's weird because we get into this sense to where like Zack Snyder movies, not all of them are great, but it's like this one was so directed. It was headed towards the right direction of just one message here. It didn't feel like the last movie. It was just all over the place. Like you didn't know really what the story was about. And then just not enough insight in here into this film really. And into Superman even in general, like Superman's dramatic moments. You really lose sight of that in the last film, which I did not like. It felt like it got cut short with Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman because when you base BVS, I mean, come on, guys. BVS is really what introduced Justice League. You know, you got Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman coming together, and it's just you just let them be, and then it just doesn't progress after the next film. You know, and I just felt like the radical cut was not the cut for anybody. I would say even the Ultimate Edition wasn't really. I mean, I didn't like the Ultimate Edition. Not at all.
We differ, but I mean, the Ultimate Edition put things in better context, and I could understand more how that conflict came about.
Yeah,
with that,
I like the Ultimate Edition a lot more. I defend it a lot.
The Justice League one.
BVS.
No, BVS.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm still talking about Justice League. Wait, did they come out with? Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ultimate Edition was only BVS. Yeah. So they.
But yeah, with BVS, I mean, I just realized, even with other extended cuts, I think there's the Watchmen one, right? It's plain fact that Zack Snyder does better with more time. Now, that's not to make the excuse that a movie needs to be 4 hours long for it to be good, right? No. I don't want to make that excuse like on behalf of Zack Snyder or anything. But
because we've seen it, different movies.
Yeah. But if that is like what's working for him, and that's kind of what he had planned, I am ultimately, and I could probably put this also in like the closing thoughts, right? But I'm glad that we got it in the form that we got it through HBO Max, because business-wise, a studio would still not push for a 4-hour movie because that's less screen time that they book, so it's less tickets sold, right? So typically, when studios try to make find the sweet spot of what the runtime is so that they can fit an extra 2 showings per theater per screen and all that stuff. And that if you think of a fully staffed theater pre-pandemic, that's millions of more dollars, right?
Yes, for sure.
Day. So I'm glad. Like, if I had wished for this movie to come out when the last Justice League came out, it would still probably not be as good, as long. So like, I'm glad that we got it in the conditions that we did. Although it's horrible. I mean, for Zack, right? Like, it almost didn't come through. But like you guys are saying, I think the story's there. I've never been on the camp of thinking Zack Snyder is a bad director. I think here he did a lot of course correction from feedback that was given in Batman v Superman, and it just sucks that when we saw the first Justice League, it almost seems like A, nothing was learned, and B, like the studio decided to mix all this up. And I'm glad that Zack got to put this out there because you can at least see the course direction. Like, the movie had a solid theme that, at least for me, it made me feel hopeful. The tone was a lot better, right? Like, people thought that BVS was really dark, right?
See, and it wasn't even necessarily. I agree with you. It was the dark, but it's like I felt like the casual forced jokes was way too much. And it's funny too because this one, there is small little jokes here. They take dabs here and there.
It makes sense.
It's casual. It's like natural. It's a natural feel. I mean, we get it. Obviously Alfred. We see Alfred making jokes here and there, and it's funny because it doesn't feel forced whatsoever in this film, guys. It doesn't feel like just it has to be funny. It has to have that comedy relief. Because let's be honest here, for Darkseid, Dude. No, dude. That's what I loved about this movie, man. Was just like, every time I heard Steppenwolf, I almost feel like the voice was a little bit deeper in this movie. It felt like the audio was done very differently. I felt like for Steppenwolf's voice.
This was the look and the sound that he wanted for Steppenwolf. Obviously,
he sounded better.
He sounded better. He didn't sound like a little bitch. He didn't act like one either from the theatrical cut. That's really what it was. Like I mean, that previous film, no one was scared of Steppenwolf deep down when you think about it. Yeah. Now, just the action, the CGI, the attitude, you felt this guy was a legit threat.
And we also get an insight into Steppenwolf. Yeah. That was good to see. That was great to see. We got to see more details. Again, small little details count in every single movie, guys. You as well as I do. It's just like, what the heck? Why did that happen? Why is this plot hole? We get upset about those things. We know. We all know, guys. We get upset about it. And now we get so many questions answered. And yet, at the very end of this film, we get even more questions. What is going on? A lot more questions here. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so the 6 parts, don't count on it, Batman, which I kind of like because I like they released the titles ahead of time because it almost like prepares you like what are they going to talk about in this part? What are they going to do? In all this sense, But yeah, JC, brother, what was your initial? I mean, right after watching this movie, man, what was your initial reaction? And then I'll go to you, Lex. What was your initial reaction right after watching this movie, man?
I thought this was a masterpiece, hands down. Yeah. That was the word I've been using since T and I saw it yesterday. This was a masterpiece. This was the film we should have gotten. And honestly, I know we've talked about the runtime. It didn't feel to me like a 4-hour movie. I felt like I wanted more when it was over, but it was a full, complete story. And obviously, I think what helped was doing the title cards, part 1, part 2. Yes, that helps kind of divide it, keeps you in line with it. But, it didn't feel like a 4-hour movie to me. I could watch it again, and I'm like, and now I'm just like itching for, hey, HBO Max, hurry the hell up! I want to see it again, Yes. So it felt it was just a lot of fun, and from the start to the end. There wasn't really a lot of slowdown. Everything was important, and the action was like throughout, and it was really, really well done.
For sure. Lex, what was your reactions to this, man? I mean, talk about it, brother. Right after watching this, because since you got first dibs on it, brother. I mean, you got first dibs. Me and JC were like, man, is Lex done with it? I checked on the runtime. Man, he's not done with it. He's still got 30 more minutes. What the heck?
We're just waiting to get the kids to bed over here. So once they sleep, all right, go to bed. We're watching.
Yeah, and I try not to stop either. There was a few times where I paused, like used the restroom and everything. So for the most part, it took right about 4 hours, maybe like I think it was like 15 minutes on top of it, just with some little breaks. I was really happy. It was like, and I know this is dramatic. Trust me, I know, but figuratively speaking, as a fan, it's like you've been holding your breath for just 4 years. Or wait, is just my math right? Great analogy. 4, 6,
carry the 2,
5 years. 4 years, right? You've been holding your breath, right? If you're like me, I was the one telling people Snyder Cut's real. I also was reasonable enough to tell people, is it a ready to launch movie? No, it's probably undone, no CGI done, but the dialogue was written and the shots were shot. And, I was there day one. And then there was the times where I kind of thought, oh, maybe it's not real. But then there would be evidence that there is. And so just 4 long years holding your breath, hoping that this would come out, and just to finally see it, you just let it go. And once again, a little
I was like this.
It's dramatic, but it's real. These movies, these characters, it means something to people. And for it to be done justice, no pun intended, and also, whether you like him or hate him, just under the circumstances that Zack Snyder was in, he deserved a win. He deserved at least the chance to put this out there. And that's, don't get me wrong, that's the win. Just putting this out there is the win. I don't care at this point what the critics say. He didn't get paid extra for it, right? Yeah. He was given budget, but he's not getting any more money in the pockets. To him, putting this out there and at least telling people, whether you like it or not, this is my product. That's the win. And I'm happy for him. If I put myself in his shoes, even though I don't create things at the scale that he does, if I was to put myself in the shoes, is like 4 years have passed and someone put my name out there and gave something that doesn't even match what I thought of, you know, I'd be upset. So it's, once again, just that was kind of like the feeling that I had. And then as a fan, I was just excited for what we were given. And you know, it's a little sad, right? Like, you know, there might not be more to this, right, in the future. Yeah. But at the same time, I was very satisfied with what we got.
Yes. Oh my God. I was, oh my God, I'm going to cry, dude. It's almost as glorious as it was, you know, as, okay, I'm going to compare it to the first time I saw Force Awakens, you know, when we got to see Star Wars get relaunched, got to see Han back. That was a teardropper, man, seeing Han come back after all those years. Obviously a lot older, Harrison Ford. I was just at a teardrop because, you know why? Because I got to see different. Obviously, I'm upset because we didn't get to see in the theaters and experience it with everybody, you know, obviously with the pandemic going on. So that's different now. But to see it with fans, it's just, I feel like it would have been on another level. It went on another level already, but I feel like it would have hit that great emotional aspect that, you know, watching with different people. Again, this movie deserves to be in theaters. It's sad that we're not more likely not be able to see it in theaters. It's still up.
It's going to get an IMAX. It's going to get an IMAX release.
Yeah, because and I'm sure this is going to be it. If you watch the film and if you see it in a 4:3 format, do not adjust your set. There's nothing wrong with your stream. He filmed it entirely in an IMAX format. So if they do an IMAX release, it's going to be that whole big look. And obviously, sometimes they do IMAX, they cut it down, but he used the entire screen. So you want to see it in IMAX if they're going to release it.
I mean, that's why the trailers have been in that format as well. So at first, I wasn't sure if they were going to still give us a cut version to fit the. I minded it for all about 5 minutes, and then after that, I forgot.
I was gonna say literally like 2 minutes. I was annoyed, and then after that, I got into the film. It gets you sucked in right away, ladies and gentlemen. It really gets into that Marvel world. I mean, to the marvelous world. Marvel world.
Watch it. It's strike one. It's strike
marvelous,
one.
Marvelous world.
What review is this?
I'll kick you off your own show,
dude. Into this marvelous review, and man, dude, it's a really huge game changer in this film. This really changes DCU if they want to count this, guys. That's the other question. If they're going to count this, if they really want to live up to this, you know, after this, I feel like it could be a huge game changer for the DCU. And do y'all strongly agree on that? Like, if they live up, if they continue this,
I've been saying since they announced it that it was coming back. I said this is going to be the resetting point. This is where you reset everything. You forget the previous one. They made Aquaman and every other movie going based off the plot line of what Zack Snyder's vision for Justice League was. So this, honestly, the hype this has gotten, the positive reviews, and when it comes out Thursday, I've predicted this is what's going to happen, is that there's going to be so much demand for Zack Snyder to finish what he started. They're going to have to continue as the next point to go off of.
Again, guys, this is our point of view here. We're all loving it. We're digging it. It's funny because usually I'm very picky, guys. And I said it so many times. I say it all the time.
He admitted it. Lexi admitted it. He's picky.
I'm very critique about certain things. I really am, because that's the whole point of cinema. You know, just like, like, did this really make sense? Like, what did we have this plot hole? No, that's how I felt like with the last film, ladies and gentlemen. So I kid you not, guys, this is a huge game changer. Thank you, Zach, for giving us this phenomenal film. I really do appreciate this so much, because he did this for the fans. He did it for us. He did, you know, he's doing it for all the Superman fans out there. He's done it for every single DC fan out there, because this is really going to change the game and open the gate for a lot more movies out there, guys. I'll say that. Tina says I'm super picky. Okay, yes, Tina, I know. I'll admit it. I admit it. Sometimes I am super picky. Because, man, the film needs to be glorious. Every film needs to be glorious, but obviously it's not the case here. But yeah, let's go back to what we needed in this movie, guys. What did you feel like they needed? Maybe I'm gonna say one thing. I know everyone's gonna hear on me when I say this. One thing only, my only negative with this. I feel like we should have got this in 2 parts. That's my only thing. That is my only thing. Okay. I feel like they should have done this in 2 parts.
But where do you stop the film?
I can't say that right now.
That's the thing. That's the thing. When you watch this, like, okay, where could they have cut this into 2 movies? And I can't think of a point where they would have.
I probably would have started.
Don't spoil it.
I probably would have ended. No. I probably would have ended it at beloved mother, beloved son. That one.
I mean, no, because it's a bad ending point. But go ahead.
Here's what I have to say.
Cut it in half, because that's like 6. Yeah, so it's 6 minutes.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I do too disagree. The main point that I have here is that Snyder Cut, the embodiment of the Snyder Cut, even just with what HBO did, which is once again approve this, put money into it, and they went ahead and allowed us to have this, right, and allowed for Zack to finish the product. It is all under the embodiment of give the fans what they want.
Yeah,
I don't think the fans would have wanted, despite already having waited 4 years for this to become a reality, I don't think you could have asked the fans to then wait for a 2-part movie.
No.
Aside, this is not a spoiler, but the endpoint that you're picking, keep in mind, guys, this movie's so long that this movie's half is really early onto the scenes that you saw in the first Justice League movie. Like, I remember telling my friends, just without spoiling it, in confidence, I told them, like, hey, I have 2 hours left on this movie, and this is where I'm at in the scene that you saw in the first movie. Yeah. And it was like, pfft. So, like, it's like, whether it was cut in the middle or somewhere in between, you'd be telling the fans, okay, let's just wait for a second one. Instead, like, they would still have that breath held. Like what I was telling you is, after I saw the movie, you're not holding your breath anymore. Splitting it into 2 parts, you would have still held your breath, and it would have left room for the critics to take it apart just based on that first part and not as a product. So I think that's what we deserve. The fans deserved the whole thing, and I'm happy. I get what you're saying, though, and I think the reason you're saying what you're saying is because you would have. I think it's because you would have liked the feeling that there's something else, whereas right now,
there's something more. Like, I want more, and that's the beauty of it. It just keeps you wanting that more. That just like that little teaser just at the very end. It just, I almost wanted it to end like like Infinity War, like leave us like, oh crap, like it just
But that's the thing, though. The way this movie was set up. First of all, it's a director's cut and it's a streaming service. I'm not buying a streaming service to get a 2-part movie. Give me the whole damn thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Secondly,
if it was theater, I would say that. If it was theater.
If we're comparing it to Infinity War Endgame, and I've always said Infinity War and Endgame is better off as one big movie. It continues on so much more. But there's a stopping point there with what happens at the end of Infinity War. That's a good stopping point where you can split it. But this is a director's cut. Now, obviously, if Warner Brothers had been smart years ago and said, let's wait until he can finish his vision, obviously he would have presented them with a 4-hour director's cut. And then they could have said, okay, but we need to cut this to here. And then Snyder could have made the cuts he needed. And then this would have been a Blu-ray release years later, right? So that's the thing of a director's cut. So we're getting it like this. It's better off as one big movie. Then I'm glad. I know they had talked about doing a 4-part miniseries, but it wouldn't have made sense to me. It would have felt weird. Like it's not a TV series. It's a film. It's like watching Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, the full Court Tarantino cut that he did after he did Volume 1 and Volume 2. It's like that. Like it's perfect that way.
Yeah,
for sure. All right. Okay. All right. But I'm just saying, like, if it was theater released, I would have liked 2 parts. Since it's all streaming,
if it was theatrical release, they would have cut it to 3, maybe 3.5 hours.
It would have been like, all right, guys, we're gonna release the theoretical cut of the Zack Snyder League, and then we're gonna release the ultimate edition. They're gonna do it again.
No, this would have been a Blu-ray release. Now, if there is a Blu-ray release, I want it.
There is a Blu-ray release. It's actually May 25th, guys. So there is a Blu-ray release. This is coming out on Blu-ray, which I'm not surprised because, again, this is just this year, guys. Remember. HBO Max is only releasing everything this year. That's not next year. Next year, I feel like they're gonna do. They're gonna go back to normal into a sense once theaters start opening up again. I feel like we might go back into a real. Fiesta's coming in June, so I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Anything.
I know you love the theater experience, but this Warner Brothers is using this as the guinea pig, and I'm not 100% convinced that they're not going to stop this format after this year.
You know,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's upset because of Disney Plus charging for Raya and the Last Dragon.
Well, that's Disney. They're charging way too much.
And see, that's the thing. It's like, we'll talk about that on another subject. Well, let's stick to the Zack.
I'm just saying, follow what Trolls World Tour did, and studios would be making a lot more money now. So anyway,
true. I could not agree with you there, but I don't want it, JC. I don't want it.
Well, I have kids, so thank God they released it when they did. Yeah.
Yeah. You save a lot of money with that, I can tell you.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. You save double the cost for sure. All right, guys. Was this the film that we deserved?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hands down.
I think so. Yeah. Like I said, I feel extremely satisfied with what we got.
Whether you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan.
Yes, for sure. The fans deserve this. Moviegoers deserve this. And I talked about it on my reaction video. I said, guys, because what we're going through right now, we deserve this movie, man. We deserve that beautiful distraction of a film to really get us away from this reality that you know, of all the stuff that's going on. And I just feel like this really just helps us just have that of just, you know, just like breath of, let me just relax and just enjoy this freaking movie, man. Let me enjoy this movie. Bring out the popcorn, bring out some liquor, bring out whatever you guys do. Whatever you do on movie night, whatever the
gluten-free and dairy-free pizza. Yeah.
There you go, man. There you go, dude. And enjoy this film. You know, take a break from work, reality, because let's be honest here, I could not sleep at all last night. I could not sleep. I was so excited. Like I did a little workout here and there. I couldn't sleep, man. I just could not sleep. It was a mind-blowing experience. It really was, guys. And I hope they live off of this film. But again, those answers will be answered later on once the film gets released and all that stuff. So we'll get those answers later on. All right, ratings, guys. Let's go to ratings. 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. JC, we're gonna start with you since you're our guest.
This is the first time I get to rate with Lex here too. Only because 10 is the max. I gotta go 10. I feel like it deserves more than that. But this is,
man, dude.
I know this is a bold statement, but this is the best comic book related movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm 40 years old, so I'm older than all you guys.
Yeah.
So this is number one, hands down. Hands down, this is number one. Yeah,
dude,
sure.
Bro, that is a huge. I love that. All right, I love that. Got the balls here. All right, Lex, what you got?
For me, I have to give it a man. This is a tough one because, like, I'm gonna give it a 9.3.
Okay.
9.3. But it's and I'm typically generous. And
yeah, I'm surprised because you gave one of the WandaVision episodes a 10. I'm very surprised. So we'll go into more of that. We're good.
WandaVision. You're still talking about WandaVision.
It's different. The show and the movie is different. But no, here's the thing. So it's a 9.3, but that's a very good thing for me because so like when we compare it to the first Justice League, right? Miles, I've told people already, it's 1,000 times better, right? Yeah. There's still some of like Zack's DNA in there, right? Very little and very, very poorly cut off, right? So when you're seeing this movie, it's great. It's excellent, and it gets you angry as to like why wasn't this what we got? It's a great movie. I had a blast. Like if I was to measure as far as like the experience I had, then yeah, for sure a 10, 11. Yeah. Just because once again what it meant for me. When I'm analyzing it as a movie, for the most part, the context is super different because of the content that was cut off and the content that we're getting in the Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I'm sorry I'm rambling off, but to an extent, if you measure it like point A, point B, like where the movie is trying to grab you from and take you to, most of that remains the same, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Remember, context is entirely different. The journey on how you get there is entirely different.
Yes, for sure.
Point A, point B, very similar, share some DNA. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because and this applies to the first Justice League, but out of Justice League stories that I would have liked for them to explore and be told, there are things in my imagination that I would have liked to see, right? Mm-hmm. And do I have the answer as to how that translates into a movie? No, this is why I'm not a filmmaker. But that is the only reason I'm toning it back a little bit to a 9.3, just because there's an adventure there that we could have gotten. But that's not on Zack's fault. I think that the story that Zack picked, it's within his universe, and it makes perfect sense within the universe that he started. So it's only that. It's only that desire of, I love these characters. I love the people they cast. I love how they acted and the stories that they explored in this movie. It is just that the tale that I would have liked for maybe for it to be different, right? And perhaps if this was the first time I would have seen that point A and point B, right? So like if the Snyder Cut would have been the first and only thing we got, I think my mind would be different. I think I'd be giving it a 10 because at that point I haven't been exposed to these concepts before. But part of it I was exposed in the first shitty Justice League. And as much as you can brush that off, once again, you had those 4 years to think of like, oh, I would have preferred them to do this other story, or I would have preferred them to do. So I think that's the lasting impact. That's the lasting thing that's making me not give it a 10. But like I said, make no mistake, from an experience standpoint, this was a 10 for me. It's just as a movie, I've just been given too much time to wish for other things. But yeah, I'm sorry. Once again, it went a little bit, but you know what? Like, I'm glad I covered that and I kind of broke down those points because I think that's going to be the feeling for some. It's going to, there's going to be people coming in with that same mindset, but then also coming in from a hating standpoint. And you're doing yourself a disservice just coming in, like not being open-minded. Yeah. If you're open-minded, you're going to have a joyride. I'm just like making sure that people set their expectations right, because there are going to be people that are looking for 100% different experience, and it's the plot and stuff like that.
Some of it is for sure.
There's similarities, but
the main plot, main plot is pretty much the same concept.
So you're context, like Cyborg storyline, it entirely changes the context.
I feel different for Cyborg, and we see more of the inside, because at first you just think he's this annoying guy from the first film, and it's just like you get to see why the character, why he's put in this predicament, why is he feeling this way, resentful towards his father. We saw that in the first film, and it just leaves you like, wait, did I miss something? Like and we get those questions answered, which I did love. So what was your rating, Lex? Real quick.
You said 9.3.
Once again, very well deserved. And once again, I can't wait to get more of this movie.
Yeah. Going into this film, I would say the experience of this movie was a 10 for sure. Experience wise, it was great to see the Amazons again. Jesus, the Amazons were brilliant, amazing, beautiful. I mean, dude, the Amazons, to see the mascara again was just amazing, beautiful. To see the same scene as we saw in the theoretical cut, but totally different, is mind-blowing to me, guys. It's so effing mind-blowing. I'm just so pissed off and angry because I'm just like, literally, it's the same, almost the same scene, that mascara scene. It's just totally different. A lot more footage that could have been shown, and that changed the whole style of that movie, changed the whole style of that fight. It just really, really astonishes the hell out of me. I'm trying not to cuss, but yeah, it really astonishes the hell out of me. And that's the thing. It's just like, dude, experience-wise, I had a blast. Was I crying at the TV? Sometimes, yeah. Was I yelling at the TV? Hell yeah, I was. Almost like it was a Spurs game, It's just you cheering on. You're cheering on Superman, getting to see him come. Like, you get to see everybody really come together at that very sick moment. We got to see Aquaman come. We got to see it. I loved the interaction between these characters. Again, though, my only pet peeve was certain things was, Ben Affleck as Batman, of course. But again, it is what it is. He's Batman. He was Batman. But there were some scenes. It's funny, though. I loved him more as Bruce Wayne than I did as Batman, if that makes any sense. Because if that makes any sense, when he did not have the suit on, I let's just say like I loved him more as Bruce Wayne than Batman. But that's just my point of view, guys, on as far as Batman goes. It's Ben Affleck Batman. But yeah, so a rating out of here, guys. I'm gonna do one better, Lex. I'm gonna go 9.5, guys. 9.5. It's almost a 10. Just again, I feel like people are gonna attack that. They're really gonna attack that runtime. And then also, again, you brought up another point that I have written down here was that it's pretty much almost the same. People are gonna complain and be like, it's the same movie, just a lot more footage. And you're gonna hear those people. You're gonna hear those people that are saying they're gonna say that. And I feel that. That people that do comment that people that do say that, I'm gonna be like, no, you're wrong. It's there's you have to fully understand the whole context of it. Like it's totally different vibes. The soundtrack in this movie was awesome. God, I love the soundtrack. Yeah. I couldn't get like the soundtrack was amazing. I'm just beautiful.
And even those same scenes had different scores to them.
Yes.
And they've made a lot more too. Yeah,
yes. The dramatic feel was just so much better. Like it really creates that dramatic role that I do love and cherish for DC. And again, we got more dark here. We got more dark. I mean, we even heard Bruce Wayne say it's more dark. Like it's more dark in here, guys.
It's true DC. Sure. That's the point. It's true DC. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Just real quick on that. Like, yeah, I think that the critics that are gonna be busy looking at what's similar or the same, not to enjoy what's new and at least give a thought to the context that those additional scenes sets up. Those are going to be the people slamming it and saying like, "Oh, it's the same," but they're going to think of it from a one-dimensional standpoint of like, "Oh, Steppenwolf comes down from Earth. I saw that in the first one. It's the exact same movie." That's not true. Like we've talked about. Like, it's not just that Steppenwolf looks different. There's context to why he is on Earth and why he is trying to do what he's trying to do. Yeah. And that gives motivation.
It's weird because we actually start caring about Steppenwolf a little bit. It's weird. It's just you start feeling bad for the guy. Like, it's in a weird sense. And I love that because you don't get that off in the movie. You're just there. He's all demonic. I'm coming here to beat the Earth. And there's no Kryptons here. There's no lanterns and all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, what? You didn't give us a background of who this character really is. For Thanos, we saw, I mean, it took a lot of movies to create that, to really live up to Thanos. It took a lot of movies to really live up to certain characters. And it just, you really didn't get that in the last film, the theoretical cut. But yeah, I'll say that. JC, your cut was a 10. Lex, 9.3?
3. Yeah, 9.3.
Okay, 9.3. And I was 9.5. Again, guys, 4 hours, 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, for this Zack Snyder's Justice League. I feel like this movie really does give it justice. It really does. For sure. Of course, we all recommend this movie, guys. For any DC fan out there, for any moviegoers out there, Alamo City Movie Talk does recommend this movie, guys, for every single one of you guys out there, because this is going to be a theoretical, it's going to be a cinematic experience, ladies and gentlemen, and it really is. It's a very heartwarming movie, guys.
And for those wondering, and everyone's wondering, well, what movies do I need to see before I see this? So here's what got me ready for it, and to clear my mind: watch Man of Steel, watch Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition, and watch Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad is optional, unless they do an Ayer cut of it. Because if they get the true director's cut of that film, then I'd say watch it. But that's another conversation that DC fans will want to see. But those are the 3 primary films you have to see before you see Zack Snyder's Justice League. For sure. Yeah, go in following that, and you're right into where you should be.
Definitely. And obviously, we are all going to buy this, guys. I can't wait to buy this on Blu-ray. It comes out on May 25th, if I'm not mistaken. It might change, obviously, depending on what Warner Bros. Wants to do. But I'm going to buy the freaking steelbook of this bad boy. I can't wait to wait the steelbook looks like.
Stimulus check. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Stimmy. Give me that stimmy, baby. Thank you, Zach. I'm just kidding.
I can't wait for their documentary, man. It's probably going to be a documentary of the making of the Snyder Cut, probably some years down the line.
I want to hear Zach talk about this movie, the commentary of it. I just want to, after watching it like 1,000 times, after owning it, I do want to hear the commentary of Zach really talking about these scenes and just really describing what was he thinking at this very moment? What was the writing's decision here? Obviously, and just to see that, and also, I mean, let's be honest here. Just it was a very sad moment when Zack left. Of course, we all know the reason why. The passing of his daughter. So it's a very sad moment, and to actually come back and do this is really grateful, really graceful because he did it for free. I mean, dude, what director would have done this? And I'm not gonna say like all directors are heartless. No, I feel like there's a certain type of directors that would do this. Christopher Nolan's probably the next one. Tarantino's probably the next one. Like I feel like they just love the cinematic arts. They know that they're a master at their arts, and they just want to share it with the world.
What's the Heath Ledger Joker? If you're good at something, never do it for free. But I think in the case of this, there were motivating factors to do it. A, this was his passion project, and he wanted to get it right. And B, this was for his daughter, who he lost. This was very important to him to get it right. And they need to remove his name from the directorial credit of the theatrical release of this film because it does not deserve to be there.
Exactly, and it's almost like I feel like, and I talked about it, I almost feel like that Zach's all like, man, my freaking name's on that crap. Well,
he's never watched the original.
No, I know, and I feel like after releasing it, I feel like he might watch it and be like, crap.
No.
Why even go back?
Why would you put yourself in a depressing mood? Why do that?
Yeah, just be like, oh, this sucks.
Well, one thing I was gonna mention real quick is like, I also hope people don't try to discredit Zack from the sense of like, oh, the movie's better, but you had like 4 years to change things and fix it. That is not the case. No. I have been someone that's kept a close eye on the whole new situation, right? And also leading up to Justice League, I was also keeping a very close eye to any news, any leak, anything, right? For quite some time. Zack has said on the interviews leading to the Snyder Cut, there was only one more scene with additional photography. Keep in mind, that does not count CGI things that were added, because there were some things added, right? But as far as what was considered a reshoot or shot, he did just say, we shot only one more scene. His wife corroborated that same statement, and you could say like, "Oh, what's his wife?" Well, she's also a producer. She's a professional. They have to, there's no reason for them to lie at this point. But it's true, because there is minor physical distinctions that you can tell from the actors, right? Just like the original Justice League, I could tell almost to the T what was a reshot, what was not a reshot, even outside of Superman. Superman, you could tell because of the CGI lip. But
you didn't get to see that CGI look at all.
It's so much better without a mustache.
A lot better. God, it's a lot better.
But you could see changes in Ben Affleck. I could see when Ezra Miller was wearing a wig. So once again, the jokes and the color grading was off. That's the most good thing. But in this movie, you can also see that. And you'll notice that you'll only see that for one scene. And when you look at, if you were to look and dig deep as to which actors were called for that shot, once you watch the movie, you'll know which scene it is. And it'll make sense that is the only scene that was shot. Everything else was indeed stuff that was already filmed for the movie.
He's had it done for years.
Yeah.
He just needed the CGI work. And he's said that, his fans kept asking for it. It wasn't until he made that announcement with the Man of Steel watch along that we got confirmation, So I mean, then and watching, I watched that live, and I was just when Cavill showed up, I was like, okay, something's happening here. So that was where it turned, and he's been saying for years, I've had it done. It just needs the visual effects work, and I'm glad he put his foot down, because HBO just wanted to say. Or Warner Brothers wanted to say, well, just throw the raw footage out there. So no.
Yeah.
He put his foot down. He got it done the way he wanted it done, and I'm glad he did. So
yeah, and that's why, like, I don't want people to discredit saying like, hey, you know what? I admit I enjoyed it, but I mean, anyone can fix a movie in 4 years. No, this was what was going to release in 2017. Probably, once again, a cut version, because the studio wasn't going to greenlight 4 hours. Zack even admitted that for the Snyder Cut, there was probably an additional 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, right? So even then, he still had to cut some. But yeah, I want to make sure that people don't discredit that, because once again, it's this foundation was set from the get-go. And I even remember as the new Justice League movie came out, very shortly after, we're talking about months. So Zack was still dealing with his daughter's loss. He didn't have time to fix anything. There were people that said, I got shown a pre-finished version of the movie, and this is not a spoiler because it's on the trailers, but Darkseid was there. And I remember listening to how she described Darkseid appearing. It's very parallel to what we're seeing in the trailers. It's very parallel to how it actually plays out, to the point where I know that this is what was intended from the get-go. It's just that now they managed to finish the CGI for it, but it was all written. As a matter of fact, the voice actor for Darkseid was not called back for additional lines. So that just tells you something, right? Yes. And so once again, I just really hope that that's not the path that the media decides to take without looking into it properly. And just for the sake of wanting to discredit Zack, as you know, it's just there's a bias already. People don't like their movies.
There's already a hate fan group.
They're not gonna, you know, and this has Zack's DNA, right? So if you didn't like Man of Steel, if you didn't like Batman vs Superman, this movie presents a lot more stuff that I think people can enjoy if they're open to it. But it's still Zack, right? Zack did not go ahead and decide to be a different filmmaker just for you. So just understand that, and I hope that the critics understand it.
For sure, man. You brought up a lot of good points there, man. A lot of good Zack Snyder points, brother. Dang, a lot of good ones, man. I love that little rant there. I can feel your frustration over here across the town.
I can smell it coming, man. But I'm gonna once again. I think this is the time for him to shine, and he did. He gave us something great.
Yeah, for sure. I'm probably gonna watch it again right before Thursday. So I'm gonna watch it again for sure. Like probably have it just on the background, just really embrace that beautiful moment of a glorious, of just embracing it all.
Just so you can tell people on Thursday that are watching the first time, like, oh, just got done the second time.
No, I'm not that kind of guy. No, man. But all right, guys. Thank you so much if you stuck with us this long, ladies and gentlemen. I really do appreciate it. Again, thank you for watching our non-spoiler review. We got a spoiler review coming out very soon, guys. Coming out this weekend. And this video will be uploaded the next day. I promise you guys, it'll be uploaded next day. Review. I know we took a little while on this one, but hey, we brought up so many good pointers here of a non-spoiler review. This is probably the longest non-spoiler review that I've ever done before, because again, this is a long non-spoiler review. To not mention any of those details is astonishing to me, because we all were just like trying to like go around those words, going around those phrases, going around those stigma, just going around like not throwing out the spoiler. Yeah, just do not give out the spoiler that Tony Stark comes out in this. Do not give out that spoiler.
No, don't give it out.
Yeah, don't give it out.
As a heads up, there is a lot of stuff out there on social media already. They're not respecting just the rules, but be careful, beware. Well, wait, hold on. Is this coming out by the time people have already seen it?
I mean, it's live.
It's live.
If you see it, wait a couple days before you spoil on social media.
Yeah, for sure.
We are not courteous of those that don't get to see it the time it comes out. So.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, we're not going to spoil it, guys. We're not going to mention any spoilers at all on the Movie Talk channel or on the Movie Talk Facebook page, Instagram, all the social media content. We're not going to be spoiling it whatsoever for you guys, because we want every single one of you guys to enjoy this movie, because it's a lot of footage, it's a lot of cinema, a lot of stuff's going on here, guys.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. The only thing I was going to say real quick is it's probably too late because it came out yesterday, but yesterday there's a new Snyder Cut trailer that came out. I don't know if you guys checked it out. But
I saw
it. It's on HBO Max. Yeah.
I was going to say that is the first Snyder Cut trailer, now that I've seen it, that I feel like it's showing a little bit too much. So if you guys haven't seen it, well, okay,
that's another discussion. We'll talk about that another time.
I'm just saying it's not much. It's not much without having seen the movie. But having seen the movie, even there's like little snippets that I would have just preferred to like save for Thursday. So
for sure,
my personal advice: if you guys haven't seen it,
Don't watch it.
We're 2 days away.
Don't watch it.
Yeah,
I got you.
I would just because once again, there's little things that for the first time of seeing the movie, like I would just wait. Just 3 more days.
All right, let's end this broadcast, guys, with the ratings. JC, what is your rating?
Once again, a 10. I'm looking for the Blu-ray release.
Yes,
love it. Blu-ray. This was a
yeah.
masterpiece, and can't wait to watch it again. Yeah.
Lex.
9.3 for me. I absolutely loved it. Make no mistake about it. The number, once again, there's deep roots as to why that number is that number. But I'm buying the Steelbook day one. I love this movie. I'm watching it multiple times, and you guys are gonna love it.
For sure. I'll give this a 9.5, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Side. For Dark Side, everybody. For Dark Side.
Not impressed.
For Snyder.
For Snyder. Oh, I love that. All right, guys, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. If you first time interacted with our channel, I saw some people did like our page right now. Thank you for liking our page, everybody, guys. We really do appreciate the following here. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. And we will be releasing this podcast version tomorrow. It'll be available on wherever a podcast can be found. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe. Check y'all later, guys. JC, thanks for being on the show, buddy. Lex, you too, man.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
See you next time.
Yeah, we'll be back. Spoilers, baby. That's gonna be long. It's gonna be 2 hours. I'm just kidding. We promise.
We might have to do a joint show with the Geekcast, but we'll talk about it. So yeah.
All right. Later, guys.
Later.
Bye.